across to the management. They've begun to speak right now.
That's something that we've been seeing also for quite some time now. So in this challenging environment, we are really quite pleased with the fact that we have delivered yet another quarter of competitive and profitable growth. Our domestic consumer business grew by 10% with 4% underlying volume growth. Both value growth and volume growth were ahead of market. Coming to our key segments, soaps and detergents performance, I would say, is really healthy growth with margin expansion. In soaps, we continue to see volume-led growth driven by Pears, Lifebuoy, Dove and Breeze. In our laundry business, Surf and Rin led the category growth. And in household care, we continue to see the strong momentum in terms of double-digit growth driven by both Vim and Domex. Our personal products growth stepped up during the quarter with double-digit growth from hair care, oral care, as well as color cosmetics. Our skincare performance showed good growth, and I'm really pleased to say that our flagship brand Fair & Lovely, which we relaunched in September quarter, the relaunch is on track. In hair care, we've sustained the volume-led double-digit growth momentum. During the quarter, Dove growth further stepped up, while Sunsilk, Clinic Plus and Tresemme, all of them performed really well. In oral care, we saw a further step up in growth driven by both Close-Up and Pepsodent growing double digits in what is a very, very competitive market. Our A&P spends behind this category were further stepped up to sustain our competitive position. And in color cosmetics, we've seen strong innovation-led growth momentum now continue for several quarters, led by both Lakmé and L18. In beverages, the growth was really driven by broad-based double-digit growth across our tea portfolio. And as far as packaged foods is concerned, all our three key brands, Knorr, Kissan and Quality Walls, grew in double digits. As we've said before, there are really three key drivers of growth for HUL's FMCG portfolio. That's innovation, that's strong market activation, and then superior execution. And we continue to bring innovation to the market even in this quarter. To name a few, we relaunched our Pears soap brand, we relaunched the Wheel laundry powder brand. There were a series of innovations in the Lakmé master brand across skincare and color cosmetics. We had some innovation in Lipton with green tea and so on. So quite a few innovations that we brought to the market. At the same time, the investment that we've been putting behind developing markets for the future, that's really held us in good stead, and we've seen good performance in terms of growth in skin cleansing liquids, fabric conditioners, as well as tea bags. We also continue to make sure that the investment behind our brands in terms of A&P spend was competitive. In this quarter, A&P spend went up by about 107 crores, which is about 40 basis points as a percentage of turnover, higher than Q3 of FY13. Coming to the rest of the P&L, operating profit before interest and tax grew by 13%, driven by a 50 basis points expansion in operating margin. Profit after tax and before exceptional items grew by 9%, while net profit grew by 22%, aided by some exceptional items. So in summary, I would say we have delivered yet another quarter of competitive and profitable growth, which in this current environment is something that is really a good performance. We continue to make progress in terms of strengthening our leadership positions, as well as in investing to build brands and capabilities for the future. And as we look at the first 9 months of this financial year and look at the results, I think we're quite pleased that we are delivering on our strategic objective of consistent, competitive and profitable growth. Our strategy is on track and our results are clearly visible. So as we look forward, we are conscious that there are some macroeconomic concerns, but when we look at the medium to long term, we are very positive on the outlook for the FMCG industry in India. As far as markets are going to evolve going into the future, when you look at HUL's capabilities, our brand portfolio and the powerhouse of talent that we have, we feel very, very comfortable that we are placed strongly to exploit these opportunities going forward. We will stay on course with our strategy, and as we move forward, we will make sure that we continue to invest in the business for the long term. So that's just a quick run through, and I'm quite happy to take questions now.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
I'm just going to start by asking you that You seem to have a very high amount of finance costs this quarter, which has gone up from about 753 crores in the corresponding quarter to about 1,820. Why is that?
So firstly, just to clarify the figure, the finance costs would not be of that level, but were much smaller. It will be about maybe 7.5 crores going to about 18 crores. And as you see the notes to the advertisement, you will see there was a interest on an income tax item that we've called out in our notes. So that's a sort of one-off item. So from going from about 8 crores to about 18 crores.
Okay. And so if you could just tell us what your gross margins were looking like this quarter.
So I think if you look at the closest surrogate of gross margin, which is the cost of goods sold, and you would have seen our cost of goods sold has come down by about 110 odd basis points. So that tells you the a surrogate sort of for gross margin improvement.
So volume की अगर बात करें तो इस क्वार्टर में कैसा और कितना रहा है और आगे जाके आप कैसे देखते हैं?
तो आप अगर सितंबर क्वार्टर यानी Q2 देखें तो हमारा टोटल ग्रोथ था 10%, जिसमें अंडरलाइंग वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ 5% और प्राइस ग्रोथ 5% था. इस क्वार्टर में हमारा ग्रोथ फिर से 10% है डोमेस्टिक कंज्यूमर बिजनेस में, लेकिन प्राइस और वॉल्यूम का इक्वेशन स्लाइटली चेंज हुआ है. तो अंडरलाइंग वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ है 4% और प्राइस ग्रोथ है 6%. आगे के बारे में हम गाइडेंस तो देते नहीं है, लेकिन ये जो हम मार्केट स्लो ग्रोथ हम जो देख रहे हैं मार्केट में और थोड़े टाइम तक चलेगा हमारे हिसाब से.
अगर रूरल मार्केट की बात करें, अर्बन मार्केट की बात करें, किस तरीके से डिवाइड है कि अर्बन मार्केट में चाहे आपको कोई ट्रिगर दिखे ना दिखे, लेकिन रूरल मार्केट में जो मानसून का ट्रिगर था वो कहीं आया था अच्छे मानसून में, किस तरीके से वो पैन आउट हुआ है?
ये अभी थोड़ा वेरी अर्ली, जल्दी है बताना कि मानसून का इफेक्ट कंज्यूमर डिमांड पे आया है कि नहीं. जो हमारे प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरीज हैं मोर और लेस जो ग्रोथ रेट्स हैं अर्बन और रूरल में जो ट्रेंड दिख रहे हैं वो अभी कंटिन्यू हो रहे हैं. ऐसा कुछ मैं कह नहीं सकता हूं कि कोई बड़ा सा ट्रेंड चेंज हुआ है.
If if one has to see the segment-wise revenue, one sees that your packaged foods and your other businesses are a drag on your profitability. Given the fact that the company has been taking great efforts to revive the growth of Kisan, your packaged food portfolio, as well as in the others, why is there such a steady decline in your packaged foods business?
So I think the first thing we should point out is that you look at the packaged foods portfolio, actually our growth rates have stepped up in the quarter. We've grown by about 14% in the quarter, with all the three big brands, Kisan, Crore and Quality Walls growing in double digits. As we've said before, packaged foods is a very nascent category in India. The levels of consumption, per capita consumption is very low, and we see our primary task really in building these markets, building these categories, building these markets. And this will require investment, and what you see here as a segment result is really reflecting the levels of investment we are making. And this is something that we have said before also will likely continue for some time. Our primary focus in these categories, in these segments, is really to build the market.